But the intriguing thing here is, where was William? There was no invite to Team William. There was no contact with his staff asking if they wanted to share this lunch in London last week. There can be no clearing of the air without the spare and the heir. That is the issue here. It's all fun and games for the king to allow his team or to have communications directors speaking together in London and trying to agree to deconflict the situation, but William needs a seat on the table.
Dirty Prince Harry is cashing in on his royal peace talks leak to cheapen Princess Diana's memory with a third Angola copycat landmine stunt.
Harry and Meghan tried to jumpstart peace talks, sneaking into peace talks while hinting at royal tension between King Charles and Prince William. And just like clockwork, Harry popped up in Angola, copying Diana's landmine walk to score sympathy points. It's a PR move he's played before, and yep, he really thinks we're too blind to notice.
Makes a lot of sense strategically from the Sussex side of things. It's like Scobie was a nutcase, right? No one trusted anything that he said. Charlotte Griffiths, on the other hand, works for the Mail. She's always been quite a respected reporter, but over the last few months, and I proved this earlier in the week, she has turned into a propagandist, not just for Prince Harry, but also this whole idea that the British monarchy needs Prince Harry. The British public love Prince Harry. She's really doing it in quite a crafty manner because obviously she's getting all of the stories.
People, I think they're the ones who are behind anything
Big
that's
time.
positive around what they're doing. It just seems like to me, they're just like, once again, they're desperate. They see their decline coming and they are trying any and everything that they can to get new momentum behind the work that they're doing because they are losing. Harry is going to be, I think, at the end of the day, the biggest loser of them all.
Turns out Harry's been leaking left and right, using media mouthpieces like Charlotte Griffiths to drip feed exclusive info about peace talks she magically knew a week ago. Coincidence? Please. From landmine photo ops to staged reconciliations, it's a PR circus. And with UK-based allies like Meredith Maines and Liam Maguire running interference, this public meetup without William screams setup. Desperate much, Harry? The media's not that stupid.
At the beginning of the end of the feud, that's all I can say. I mean, I never actually thought I'd say these words here on your show, but this is what my sources are telling me, is that, and they were telling me all week, look out, because a big meeting's coming. And the meeting is significant. Although they didn't have a specific agenda, it was very much rapprochement was on the cards. I've had to learn how to pronounce and spell rapprochement this week. I've said that word so many times because that was the word on the lips of my sources. They're like, that's all we're after. It's just getting the conversation going again between these two warring sides, opening the lines of communication, and the very first step on the pathway towards the end of the feud.
Breaking right now, Prince William and his team at Kensington Palace are furious that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have attempted to jump the king into peace talks and at the same time prove some sort of division between the king and his eldest son, the heir to the throne, which had been so strong in recent weeks. Now, you may know my reporting on these peace talks, which I am convinced, for a whole load of reasons, was leaked by Prince Harry and Meghan Markle to a specific reporter via Prince Harry's friends at the Mail on Sunday called Charlotte Griffiths. She's the editor-at-large.
Honestly, it's like Charlotte's living in Harry and Meghan's fantasy bubble. If you're leaking every breath of a private meeting, that's exactly why William wants no part of it. But the confidence? Delusional. She's busy downplaying Catherine and declaring the feud's over, when it's clearly not. Montecito thinks rebranding and hiring UK loyalists will fix everything. Spoiler, no PR puppet can clean up this mess.
The question here is, do we have short memories? This is a guy who has trashed his family over recent years. He has allowed race allegations to hang over certain members of his family. He has caused chaos in the late Queen's final years and King Charles's first few years while he's been battling cancer. So this chat on the balcony that I was talking about, my understanding is that it was the first baby steps. It was, let's deconflict, let's look at our calendars, get everything together, and make sure that we don't cause each other any problems.
And yet, after everything they've done, public betrayals, private leaks, royal takedowns, they still show up acting like they're the noble peacemakers. When this should have been about not causing problems for each other, they chose chaos instead. The audacity is unreal.
See, if you're having a secret meeting, you make sure it's secret. And it's the easiest thing in the world for the royals to keep something secret. They have got endless houses, palaces, God knows what, where they can meet, their teams can meet. And yet they chose to meet on a balcony in the open air where people could see them sitting there. You know, these aides are not exactly unknown to key watchers, royal watchers. They know who they are. They will have seen them going into, I can't remember, it was some London club.
Yeah, just around from Clarence House. Exactly, but why sit outside?
Sit on the balcony. I mean,
Yeah.
what? It's absolutely obvious that the whole thing was a complete setup job.
Scoop, and not only are there pictures of Harry and Meghan's representatives getting out of a taxi cab, but they have all of them sitting at a table as they begin these tense negotiations. We have images of them. We shouldn't know exactly when they're going to arrive, at what private club in London, who all is there, what their positions are, and what the content that they're going to discuss.
You're not implying there was a leak, Miss Schofield, are you?
There clearly was a leak.
The idea that King Charles staged this is pure rubbish. He's never been one for PR theatrics. But Harry, repeating Diana's landmine moment felt forced, not heartfelt. He's clearly frustrated over the leaks. But let's be honest, they could have come straight from Meghan. It's all part of a calculated strategy, trying to manipulate the British public into pressuring the royals for a forced reunion.
You think you're going to be able to have an actual agreement to not have any problems between you again in the future when you continue to release information that's supposed to be private? It makes no sense, and this is why they are so off track with what they think is going to happen, because William sees right through it. The king, I think, is a little still soft on his son, Harry. I think he is definitely not in a power position, but William is in a power position, and he has to protect his future as king. He can't let what the current king do try to affect what he's going to end up doing as the future king. I think that's a very touchy thing that could happen. He has to be very careful about that.
Spoiler alert, this time the stunt's flopping. Trust is gone. Neither the public nor Prince William is buying what Harry and Meghan are selling anymore. Well, the future king has to protect his kingdom.
Sussex business is their attempt to monetize the royal family. That's why the late Queen, of course, cut them off effectively, because they were told to choose. You can either be a working royal or else you're out. And so they lose their HRHs and all the rest of it. But to treat the tacky and trashy attitude of how can we make tourist tat out of the royal family in every respect is really a fundamental betrayal of everything that the monarchy stands for.
They need aides to broker it. Why can't Harry just turn up and go and have a beer or a cup of coffee with his dad and sort it out? Why are there aides? Why is it so formal?
Well, I mean, it's such a good question, because they've got to the point where Charles cannot be in a room with his son without thinking things might leak out, and this has been proven time and time again. So they've had to kind of step back a bit and say, first of all, we'll have the aides talking to one another, and then hopefully the next step will be Harry and Charles being in a room together.
King Charles wants peace, sure. But how many betrayals can one father take? Harry's arrogance mixed with Meghan's delusion is a cocktail no one's sipping anymore. They've not only disgraced themselves, but turned their backs on the very institution that built them.
Oh, oops, we've leaked it all. We've leaked it all. You know, we've leaked to Katie Nichols at Vanity Fair, talking all about what happened at the meeting. We've leaked to People magazine, talking all about what happened at the meeting. It's like, these two things don't add up, P. Dinah. How stupid are they? How stupid are these advisors? They've lost it at the first hurdle.
1 minute it's Charles won't speak to him, next it's a new beginning. all coming from Harry's own reporter giving mixed signals. It's honestly like watching a train wreck. So bad they can't even see it. From the very beginning, they were losing, and now the whole world is watching it unfold, yet again.
I think they have to reset relations from this point onwards. I think what will definitely happen, in fact, is that they will lay some ground rules for communication from now on. And, Harry cannot repeat what goes on in these private conversations because, Harry really wants reconciliation and he wants to be able to freely speak with his father. At the moment, he can't even get hold of his father. There is zero contact. He can't get through to him on the phone. He has to go through aides. So I think he'd be willing to meet those demands. And it's a pretty simple demand. It's, if I chat to you, can you please not, have it leak out on Oprah Winfrey, a global television program.
But we don't need Harry. We don't need Meghan. That's their problem. We simply don't need them. They are desperate to remain relevant, but they could not be more irrelevant. They're nothing.
It is almost like Harry is back on Oprah, but this time he is leaking to the same press he once condemned. The royal family did not leak. Harry did. Now he and Meghan are playing both sides, whispering peace while stirring chaos. Honestly, it feels like another dirty game. This time aimed straight at King Charles under the guise of reconciliation.
I think it is driven by the King's health, in as much that the King is obviously very circumspect at the moment, thinking about his life in the round, thinking about his future, possibly in a more forgiving place than perhaps he might not be had he not been going through a cancer battle this last year. And, I think the fact that Harry said, "We don't know how much time my father has left" on the BBC went down extremely badly. And actually, that's why this story is so unbelievably surprising, because that BBC interview was only a few weeks ago, and he broke the cardinal rule, which is speculating about the King's health.
Yes, that is a problem. There's a problem dealing with somebody who's very much in the media and wanting to go and give his version of the story at any time. The King isn't going to say that, but Prince Harry might. So what has sparked this particular meeting? I suspect that it would have been an initiative on the Sussex side, to see whether there was any way that the matter could be resolved, a step taken forward. We know that Prince Harry is going to come over next year for the Invictus Games.
Now, there are plenty of suspects behind this so-called peace talk, but Harry's reporter Charlotte claims it is the King's health that pushed Harry toward reconciliation. Maybe that moved Charles, but the public has not forgotten that BBC disaster, where Harry coldly said he doesn't know how long his father will live. Forgiveness may come, but respect? That's long gone.
Let's be real. Harry and Meghan's billion-dollar American dream is over. The grift is definitely over. Netflix is hanging on by a thread. Every other deal has dried up. There's no new books, podcasts, big TV interviews, no red carpet events, Met Galas, Oscars invites. They couldn't even score an invite to the Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez wedding, despite some of their nearest and dearest managing to get the golden tickets. No celebrity endorsements of Meghan's products for her As Ever line. No $1 million speeches. Zip. Everybody seems to have gone quiet.
Who is he kidding? This is not some heartfelt journey toward healing. It is a calculated crawl back because the cash is running low. The brand's fading, the deals are drying up, and now reconciliation is just code for rescue me, Dad. This is not about love, it is about leverage.
And when it comes to William, well, I suppose it's a similar thing in that William is in perfect health and is in no rush particularly to make amends with his brother. I think probably the King will have let William know that this is his approach and he won't be wanting to hurt his other son, William. So, there'll be a certain conversation with William taking place that this is happening. It's just that William won't want to get involved himself, I don't think.
Okay, again, lots of understatement going on there.
Cards, but I think that there's a really important distinction here. I think any kind of reconciliation between Charles and Harry, I don't think that's really a reconciliation with the monarchy. I think it's just a father and son thing. I don't think William would be involved. I think William has well and truly put Harry in the freezer and he's moved on. He's focusing on plans for his reign. And I don't really see any real movement there, but I could see Harry definitely reconciling with King Charles.
From the very beginning, William refused to entertain this circus, and now he has been proven right. First they say, We won't leak the meeting, and then boom, it is everywhere. Vanity Fair, People, the usual outlets. It is a pattern. Say it is private, then leak it for sympathy. William saw it coming. Again, Harry and Meghan play the press like puppets. You cannot build peace on blackmail and PR traps, and William refuses to play along, rightfully so.
Home to discover that she had taken a photograph of me and then sort of put it on X with a view to kind of whip up support among her fellow Sussex squatters, which is the name we use to describe trolls who criticise people who aren't, you know, slavishly devoted to Harry and Meghan. And it kicked up a bit of a storm.
It did. I mean, there was a lot of support for you because regardless of the politics of it, it's a really rude and intrusive thing to do.
This is exactly how Meghan and Harry operate, surrounded by enablers, never once calling out the toxic behavior of their fan base. Their silence is support, plain and simple. Especially Meghan. Her pattern is clear, vindictive, calculated, and far from gracious. The way their supporters act only mirrors them. Low class, aggressive, and loud. It is not royal. It is reality show energy.
While offers were made and invites accepted between Montecito and Buckingham Palace, there was not a seat at the Members Club balcony for anyone from Team William. Worse still, they had not even been invited. Harry has made it clear he wants to bond with his father again, but no offers are made to William. The Sussexes appear to be offering the hand of friendship, but are they actually trying to force a wedge between the king and the future king?
There is a lack of consistency when it comes to this crew, or maybe the only thing consistent is that they are inconsistent. You can't say like, we are mad at the Daily Mail and then somebody go give the Daily Mail another scoop about Prince Harry.
So here we are. King Charles reportedly forgiving, Diana's name still used as emotional currency, Charlotte the reporter spinning royal health as a sympathy card, and William standing firm, unmoved. Because he knows what we all see. Harry and Meghan's strategy isn't reconciliation, it's manipulation, dressed in sentiment but driven by self-interest.
Well, I was in two minds as to whether this was an invasion of privacy. Nobody in the picture, as I say, has cited the fact that anybody has invaded their privacy. Nobody from the club has contacted anybody at the newspaper or indeed an illegal team at Buckingham Palace. This is simply because I believe Buckingham Palace just are writing this off as the mess that it is. And of course, Harry and Meghan managed to get the massive PR coup that they think is them offering an olive branch, the hand of friendship, of course, to His Majesty the King.
King Charles wants peace. Prince William wants distance. So what happens when duty clashes with dignity? Will Charles keep forgiving? Will William ever forget? Let me know what you think these two will do next. And if you want the real tea on what Prince William really thinks of all this, like, comment, and subscribe. It's only getting messier.